Good morning, guys. I hope you had a great weekend. We were quarantined here at the house. We still been collecting eggs to incubate. We've been playing with the sheep. Yeah, we went out even in the rain to make sure they're taken care of. But other than that, we've been putting together a big state of Tennessee puzzle, and we've been playing games. I went and on Amazon and bought us some new board and card games because I felt like we were getting bored with the ones we had. So we bought a new one called Sky Joe, which if you've never played that, that's a really cool card game because you have to be able to add and subtract in your head while you're playing because you want the lowest score of anybody you're playing with. So if you haven't played that game, it's really cool. The kids have really liked it. And then we played Sequence all afternoon yesterday. So we had a lot of fun with that. But just wanted to get on a minute and say hey, and also read you chapter 3. I'm also today going to be uploading some new activities on your Google Classroom. So make sure you check that throughout the day. Hopefully within the next hour or so, they should be online, barring nothing happens with my internet when I try to upload it. So make sure you check that out. So we are on chapter 3 in our story. And remember at the end of chapter 2, they were in the tombs looking at the mummies at the museum. And this lady just ran in there and she grabbed the mummy child and took off running. And Ruth Rose went to the bathroom. And when she did, she found that the mummy child was in the bathroom and the woman had ran off. So what did she run off with? So this is the beginning of chapter 3 right here. And this is our cover of our book again. I know mine still has the tag on it from where I bought it over at McKay's. Dr. Tweed was standing by the front door talking with 2 police officers. Dink dashed over to them. "Excuse me," he said, his mouth suddenly dry. "Can we help you?" one of the officers asked. The name on her shirt read S. Washington. "My friend found the mummy in the ladies' room," Dink said. "Show us," the officer said. His name was P. Peters. Everyone rushed over to where Josh and Ruth Rose were standing outside the restrooms. "Will you come inside with me?" Officer Washington asked Ruth Rose. Ruth Rose and the officer walked into the restroom. A few seconds later, they both came out again. "Dr. Tweed, will you step in here with me, please?" Officer Washington said. Dr. Tweed followed the officer back inside the restroom. "So where was it?" Josh asked Ruth Rose. "You know those tables they have so parents can change babies' diapers?" she said. "It was right on the table." "In plain sight?" Dink asked. Ruth Rose nodded. "At first I thought it was just a big doll. So I took a closer look." "Yuck," Josh said. And here is the picture. Everybody going into the restroom to look. The restroom door opened again. Officer Washington walked out with Dr. Tweed behind her. He was carrying the child mummy in his arms. "The mummy seemed to be undamaged," Dr. Tweed said, "but I'll have to examine it in my office." Dr. Tweed and 2 police officers crossed the lobby and disappeared through the door behind the counter. "I guess we might as well go home," Dink said. "Man, this was some Mummy Monday," Ruth Rose grumbled. "Look, there's the cafeteria," Josh said. "Let's go get something to drink." The kids entered the large room, paid for cold drinks, and sat at a round table. "I wonder where the thief went after she left the mummy in the restroom," Ruth Rose said as she sipped her lemonade. "What do you mean?" Dink asked. "There weren't any windows in there, so she couldn't have gotten out that way," Ruth Rose said. And if she'd come through the door, she would have bumped right into us. But a woman did come out, Josh said. Remember? She was talking on a cell phone. Yeah, but she looked totally different, Ruth Rose said. Maybe she was in disguise, Dink said. Maybe the mummy snatcher changed clothes in the restroom. She might have hidden her dress in the briefcase, Josh said. And the blonde hair could have been a wig. Guys, I just realized something, Ruth Rose said. When that woman came out of the restroom, she walked toward the tomb. Maybe she went back to steal something else. The kids left their drinks on the table and ran to the tomb. Open sesame, Josh said. He pressed the stone and the door rumbled open. Tiny lights shone from the tomb ceiling, casting shadows on the floor. The child's mummy sarcophagus lay empty. Its lid still leaned against the wall. The other two mummies stood over to guard the room. Ruth Rose grabbed Dink and Josh and pointed them towards the treasure chamber. Without speaking, the three tiptoed under the arch. The treasure chamber, like the tomb, had a stone floor partly covered with sand and gravel. The walls were also stone, with no windows. She's not here, Dink whispered. Glancing into the chamber's dim corners, his arms suddenly bristled with goosebumps. Yeah, but look at all this gold, Josh said, pressing his nose up against the display case. There were 6 cases in the chamber. Sorry if you hear my dog barking. That would be Booger. 4 were filled with empty pottery and farming equipment. The other 2 held gold carvings and jewelry. You'd think if someone wanted to steal something, Dink said, it'd be this treasure, not a mummy. These cases are locked, and they have alarms, Ruth Rose said. She pointed to thin gray wires running along the edges of each case. Suddenly, Dink heard a low, rumbling noise. What's that? He asked. It sounded like the tomb door, Ruth Rose said. The kids ran back into the tomb. They were just in time to see the wall slide shut. Josh ran to the wall and tried to force it open with his fingers. When they turned around, his face was white. We're locked in, he said. And that's the end of our chapter. There's the beginning of chapter 4. So now they're locked inside the tomb. What are they going to do? And what did that lady steal? I guess we will find out later when we read chapter 4. I might try to do another one tonight. We'll just have to see how time is going. If not, I will get up and do it first thing in the morning. But look for some more activities on your Google Classroom today and keep reading above anything, above any activity you're doing while you're out. I just want you to make sure you are reading. Bye, and I love you. See you soon.